A billionaire's private jet tears through the sky at 400 miles per hour. In 60 seconds, it will crash into a Mississippi farm. The woman who saves him has been waiting 3 years for this moment. This is a story about survival, secrets, and the debt that can never be repaid. The cabin shook hard. Victor Lawson gripped the armrest so tight his knuckles turned white. His phone slid across the floor. Papers flew everywhere. The pilot's voice came through the speaker, calm but wrong. Too calm. "Mr. Lawson, we're going down. Brace yourself." Victor's stomach dropped. He was 52 years old. He owned 3 companies. He had buildings with his name on them in New York and Los Angeles. He had never been scared like this. Not when he lost his first million. Not when his wife left him. Not ever. The jet tilted. Victor saw trees through the window. Green trees and brown dirt and a long empty road. Mississippi. They were over Mississippi. He was supposed to be in Atlanta in 40 minutes for a meeting worth $800 million. The ground came fast. Too fast. Metal screamed. Glass broke. Something hit Victor's head. Everything went black. When Victor opened his eyes, smoke filled his nose. His head hurt bad. Blood ran down his face. He touched his forehead and his hand came back red. The jet was on its side. The door was above him now. He couldn't reach it. "Help," he said. His voice was small. "Help me." Nobody answered. The pilot was quiet. Victor looked forward and saw him slumped over. Not moving. Victor's chest got tight. He tried to breathe, but smoke filled his lungs. He coughed. His ribs hurt. Maybe broken. He pulled himself up. His legs shook. One ankle screamed with pain when he put weight on it. He pushed hard on the emergency door. It didn't move. He pushed again. Nothing. The smoke got thicker. Blacker. Victor's eyes burned. "Please," he said to nobody. "Please." Then he heard voices outside. A woman's voice. Young. Clear. "Mama, there's a plane. Look." "Oh my Lord." "Stay back, Zoe. Stay back." Footsteps. Running. Then hands on the door. Pulling. Victor pushed from inside. The door flew open. Fresh air hit his face. He gulped it down. A woman looked down at him. Black woman, maybe 35. Dirt on her jeans. Sweat on her brown skin. Her eyes were wide. "You alive?" she asked. "Yes," Victor said. "Please. Help me out." She reached down. Her hands were rough. Strong. She pulled Victor up through the door. He fell onto the grass. A little girl stood there. Maybe 7 years old. 2 ponytails. Pink shirt with a unicorn on it. "Is he dead, Mama?" the girl asked. "No, baby. He's hurt. Run to the truck. Get the first aid kit. Fast." The girl ran. Victor lay on his back. The sky was blue. So blue. White clouds moved slow overhead. He was alive. He was breathing. His heart pounded in his chest. The woman knelt beside him. She touched his head gentle. "You're bleeding pretty bad. What's your name?" "Victor. Victor Lawson." Her hands stopped. She stared at him. Something changed in her face. Her jaw got tight. "What?" Victor asked. "Nothing," she said fast. Too fast. "I'm Emma. Emma Washington. We need to get you to a hospital." "My pilot," Victor said. He tried to sit up. Pain shot through his ribs. "He's still in there." Emma stood. She walked to the jet. Looked inside. Came back. Her face told Victor everything. "I'm sorry," she said soft. Victor closed his eyes. Robert. The pilot's name was Robert Chen. He had 2 kids. Victor knew because Robert showed him pictures last month. Soccer uniforms and missing teeth and big smiles. The little girl came back with a red box. Emma opened it. She cleaned Victor's forehead with something that stung. She wrapped white cloth around his head. Her hands moved fast, like she knew what she was doing. "You a doctor?" Victor asked. No. But you live on a farm, you learn to patch things up. Animals. People. Whatever needs fixing. A farm. Emma pointed behind her. Victor saw a small house. White paint peeling off. Roof missing shingles. A red barn leaning to one side. Fields of brown dirt stretching far. No crops growing. This is your land? Victor asked. What's left of it? Emma said. She pressed tape on the bandage. Hard. Harder than she needed to. You got a phone that works? Victor patted his pockets. Found his phone. Screen cracked, but it turned on. He called 911. Told them where he was. They said ambulance coming in 20 minutes. Fire truck too. Emma stood up. I'll wait with you till they come. Thank you, Victor said. He meant it. You saved my life. She didn't smile. Anyone would have done it. But Victor knew that wasn't true. He'd lived 52 years in a world where people didn't help unless they wanted something back. This woman pulled him from a burning jet and asked for nothing. The little girl sat on the grass. She stared at Victor. Are you rich? She asked. Zoe, Emma said sharp. That's rude. It's okay, Victor said. He looked at the girl. Yeah, I'm rich. How rich? Zoe asked. Pretty rich. Like $1 million? Victor smiled. It hurt his face. More than that. Zoe's eyes got big. Wow. Do you have a big house? I have 3 houses. 3. Zoe looked at her mama. Mama, he has 3 houses. Emma's face stayed hard. That's nice for him. Something in her voice made Victor look closer. She wasn't impressed. She wasn't excited. She looked at him like he was a problem she had to solve. Then get rid of. You don't like rich people? Victor asked. Emma picked up the first aid kit. I don't know many rich people. But the ones I knew. She paused. Looked right at him. They didn't care much about people like me. Before Victor could ask what she meant, sirens filled the air. The ambulance came up the dirt road. Then a fire truck. Red and white lights flashing. People in uniforms jumped out. They ran to Victor. Asked him questions. Checked his head. His ribs. His ankle. We need to get you to Jackson Memorial, a paramedic said. Young guy. Blonde hair. Name tag said Josh. They lifted Victor onto a stretcher. He looked for Emma. She stood by her truck with Zoe. Watching. Her arms crossed. Wait, Victor said to Josh. That woman. Emma. I need to thank her properly. You can send flowers later, sir. We need to go. They pushed Victor into the ambulance. The doors closed. Through the small window, Victor watched Emma's farm get smaller. The house. The broken barn. The empty fields. Something bothered him. Something about the way Emma said his name. The way her face changed. Like she knew him. But Victor had never met her before. He was sure of it. The ambulance bounced over the dirt road. Victor's head throbbed. His ribs ached. But his mind wouldn't stop. Emma Washington. That name. Why did it sound familiar? He pulled out his phone. Typed her name into Google. Nothing came up. No Facebook. No Instagram. No LinkedIn. It was like she didn't exist online. Victor wasn't used to mysteries. In his world, everything had an answer. Every person had a price. Every problem had a solution. But this woman with dirt on her jeans and anger in her eyes? She was different. And Victor Lawson always figured out what made people different. If you're feeling this story right now, if Emma's pain is hitting you, if you want to see Victor make this right, please hit that like button and subscribe. We're building a community of people who believe in real stories about real consequences. Drop a comment telling me, do you think Victor can truly fix what his company broke? Let's talk about it. Now, back to the story. Victor spent 3 days in the hospital. Broken ribs. Sprained ankle. Concussion. The doctors said he was lucky. Victor didn't feel lucky. Every time he closed his eyes, He saw Robert slumped over the controls. Every time he tried to sleep, he heard metal screaming. His assistant Marcus came from New York. Brought clean clothes, a new phone, a laptop. Work never stopped. Not even for plane crashes. The Atlanta deal fell through, Marcus said. He was 28. Always wore expensive suits. Always smelled like cologne that cost $300 a bottle. They went with Henderson Corp instead. Victor stared at the hospital ceiling. White tiles. Small brown stain in the corner. I don't care. Marcus blinked. Sir, I said I don't care about the deal. But it was $800 million, Marcus. Victor turned his head. Pain shot through his neck. A man died. Robert died. He had a wife. 2 kids. And I'm lying here thinking about money. Marcus shifted his weight. Put his tablet down. I'm sorry, sir. You're right. That was insensitive. But Victor knew Marcus would forget by tomorrow. Everyone would. Robert would become a news story. Then a memory. Then nothing. That's how Victor's world worked. People were replaceable. Except Victor couldn't stop thinking about Emma Washington. The way she looked at him. The anger behind her eyes. The farm with no crops growing. The little girl asking if he had 3 houses. Marcus, Victor said, I need you to find someone for me. Who? Emma Washington. Lives on a farm outside Greenville, Mississippi. About 15 miles from where we crashed. Marcus pulled out his tablet. Fingers moving fast across the screen. Okay. What do you need to know? Everything. It took Marcus 2 hours. He came back with a folder. Thin. Not much information. Emma Washington, age 34, Marcus read. Widowed 3 years ago. 1 daughter, Zoe, age 7. Owns 40 acres. Used to be a cotton farm but hasn't produced crops in 5 years. Behind on property taxes. Bank threatening foreclosure. Victor sat up straighter. His ribs complained. Why no crops? Doesn't say. But here's something interesting. Marcus flipped a page. Her late husband was James Washington. Worked as a quality control manager for Lawson Industries. Your manufacturing plant in Memphis. Victor's stomach dropped. What? James Washington. Employed from 2015 to 2022. Terminated in March 2022. Victor grabbed the folder. Looked at the photo Marcus printed. Black man. Strong face. Kind eyes. Wedding photo. Emma stood beside him in a white dress. Both of them smiling. So happy. Victor didn't remember him. Lawson Industries had 12,000 employees. Victor couldn't know them all. Why was he terminated? Victor asked. Marcus scrolled on his tablet. Says here violation of safety protocols. Unauthorized modifications to machinery. Something felt wrong. Victor had been running companies for 30 years. He knew how these reports sounded. Too clean. Too simple. Real life was messy. Get me the full file, Victor said. Everything. Emails. Reports. Security footage. Whatever exists. Sir, that was 3 years ago. Most of that data is archived. I don't care. Get it. Marcus nodded. Left the room. Victor looked at the photo again. James Washington and Emma on their wedding day. Young. In love. Building a life together. 3 years later, James was dead. Emma was alone with a daughter and a dying farm. And Victor was just now learning about it. The next day, Victor checked himself out of the hospital. Against doctor's orders. He had Marcus rent a car. A black SUV. They drove to Greenville. Down highways and dirt roads. Past gas stations and churches and fields that stretched forever. When they pulled up to Emma's farm, Victor's chest got tight. In the daylight, it looked worse. The house needed paint. Windows cracked. Front steps sagging. The barn looked like a strong wind could knock it down. An old truck sat in the driveway. Rust spots on the hood. Passenger door different color than the rest. Wait here, Victor told Marcus. He walked to the front door, knocked. His ankle hurt, but he ignored it. Through the screen door, he heard footsteps. Then Emma appeared. She wore the same dirty jeans, different shirt, her hair pulled back. When she saw Victor, her whole body went stiff. "What are you doing here?" she asked. "Didn't open the door." "I came to thank you properly," Victor said. "You saved my life. I told you. Anyone would have done it. But you did it. And I'm grateful." Emma stared at him through the screen. "Okay. You said thank you. Now you can go." "Emma, Mrs. Washington," she said hard. Victor took a breath. "Mrs. Washington, can we talk? Please. Just for a minute." "About what?" "Your husband, James." Emma's face changed. Shock. Then anger. Hot and fast. "How do you know about James?" "I know he worked for me. I know he was fired. I know he died 3 years ago. I'm sorry for your loss." Emma pushed open the screen door, stepped onto the porch. She was shorter than Victor, but right now she looked 10 feet tall. "You're sorry? You're sorry?" "Yes. Your company destroyed him." Her voice cracked. "They said he broke safety rules. Said he put people in danger. Fired him with no severance. No recommendation. Nothing. You know what that did to him?" Victor's throat got tight. "No. Tell me." Emma's eyes filled with tears. But she didn't cry. She wouldn't let herself. James was a good man. The best man. He worked 12-hour shifts. Came home tired every day. But he never complained. Because that job, it was everything. It paid for this house. This farm. It paid for Zoe's future. Victor wanted to speak, but Emma wasn't done. Then one day they called him in. Said he modified a machine without permission. James tried to explain. Tried to tell them the machine was dangerous. That workers were getting hurt. But they didn't listen. They just fired him. Escorted him out like he was a criminal. Mrs. Washington. He couldn't find another job. Nobody would hire him after that termination. We lost our savings. Lost our insurance. Lost everything. And James." Emma's voice broke. "He couldn't handle it. The shame. The failure. 6 months after they fired him, he had a heart attack. 41 years old. 41. Victor felt sick. "I didn't know. I swear I didn't know." "Of course you didn't know. You're too rich to know. Too important. You sit in your office in New York making millions while people like James work themselves to death. Then when they speak up, when they try to make things better, you throw them away." "That's not—" Victor stopped. Because Emma was right. He didn't know James Washington. Didn't know about the safety issues. Didn't know about the firing. He was too busy making deals and buying buildings and growing his empire. "I'm going to fix this," Victor said. Emma laughed. But it wasn't a happy sound. "Fix it? You can't fix dead. You can't bring James back." "No. But I can clear his name. I can find out what really happened. I already know what happened. Your company chose money over people. Like always." Victor looked at her. Really looked at her. This woman who saved his life. Who pulled him from a burning plane and asked for nothing. Who was fighting every day to keep her farm and raise her daughter alone. "Give me 2 weeks," Victor said. "Let me investigate. Let me look at the files. If I find out my company was wrong, I'll make it right. I promise." Emma crossed her arms. "Why should I trust you?" "Because you saved my life. And I pay my debts." They stood there. The wind blew across the empty fields. Somewhere a bird called out. Zoe appeared in the doorway behind Emma. "Mama, is that the plane man?" Emma turned. "Go inside, baby." "But Mama, now Zoe." The little girl disappeared. Emma looked back at Victor. Her jaw was tight, but something in her eyes had changed. Maybe hope. Maybe just exhaustion. 2 weeks, she said. Then I want you gone. Forever. Victor nodded. 2 weeks. He walked back to the SUV. Got in. Marcus started the engine. Where to, sir? Marcus asked. Memphis, Victor said. The manufacturing plant. And get me every person who worked there in 2022. Every manager. Every supervisor. Every executive. I want to talk to all of them. Marcus glanced at him. Sir, that's going to take... I don't care how long it takes. James Washington died because of my company. Because of me. I'm going to find out why. Victor looked back at the farm. Emma stood on the porch, watching him leave. Her arms still crossed. Her face still hard. But for just a second, Victor thought he saw her shoulders drop. Like maybe, just maybe, she wanted to believe him. Victor Lawson had built an empire by being ruthless. By making hard choices. By putting profit first. But right now, sitting in an SUV outside a dying farm in Mississippi, he realized something. Being ruthless had cost him more than he ever knew. And it was time to pay the price. Victor's promise to Emma is just the beginning. The investigation he's about to launch will uncover secrets that go deeper than one man's firing, secrets that could destroy his entire empire. But that's a story for another time. If this story moved you, if you felt Emma's rage and Victor's guilt, smash that subscribe button right now. We post stories like this every week. Raw, real, emotional stories about karma, redemption, and second chances. And please, comment below and tell me, where are you watching from? Are you in the US, UK, Nigeria, South Africa, India? Let me know your country in the comments. I love seeing our global community. Hit the notification bell so you never miss the next chapter. Until next time, remember, every action has a consequence, and every debt must be paid.